Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. The next press conference for today is weekly updates from the OSCE Special Monitoring Mission to Ukraine. And I give the floor to Mr. Alexander Hook, Principal Deputy Chief Monitor of the OSCE Special Monitoring Mission to Ukraine. Today he's reporting via Skype. Mr. Hook, the floor is yours.
Good afternoon. Today I'm speaking to you from the junction M14 T0508 outside Novoazovsk in the southern Donetsk region. We have come here, like with all other OSCE patrols, to assess the security and humanitarian situation, to monitor and report on the side's adherence to the ceasefire, to facilitate dialogue, to reduce tension and foster peace, stability and security. Ukraine, the Russian Federation and 55 other participating states have tasked us to do so. They sent us here to Novoazovsk and to other parts of Ukraine. We act on their behalf. Since the recommitment to the ceasefire on 1st July, the level of violence is lower than what it has been. But the situation remains highly volatile. At some moments, like now, there is relative calm. At other times, all hell breaks loose. On Sunday, for instance, our monitors recorded over 400 ceasefire violations. The following day, they registered almost 2,000. Last week, the OSCE in fact recorded over 4,000 ceasefire violations. Last week, we also noted the presence of 57 weapons in violation of withdrawal lines, 44 in areas not controlled by the government, and 13 in areas controlled by the government. Here in this image, taken by an SMM Mini unmanned aerial vehicle close to the non-government controlled Cernove on 24th July, you can see two self-propelled howitzers, both in violation of agreed withdrawal lines. These weapons should at least be 25 kilometers away from the contact line. An SMM long-range UAV the following day spotted 4 self-propelled howitzers in government-controlled Vershina, also in violation of agreed withdrawal lines. As with the previous case, these guns should at least be 25 kilometers away from the contact line, as agreed in Minsk. Dear friends, these weapons and the failure of the sides to disengage and demine are the main factors contributing to the continuing volatility. The sides tell us they want to comply, that they want to ceasefire, that they wish to eliminate volatility. Even when they recommit to the ceasefire, as they recently did, there is, however, only partial adherence to the ceasefire. Because the weapons are in place, the positions of the opposing sides are too close and the mines are in the ground. They refuse to withdraw weapons, disengage and demine because they have no assurance that the other side will do so as well. They have fear their compliance will be taken advantage of, that it will be seen as weakness, that it will encourage the other side to fill the vacuum.
It seems we have technical troubles. Wait a minute, please. Dear colleagues, sorry, the live stream will restart as soon as we will solve all technical problems. Thank you.
Hello, can we continue?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, it's all right. Continue.
A role that foresees the SMM monitoring and reporting on the site's compliance. A role that is meant to assure the parties that compliance is happening on both sides of the contact line. A role, however, that cannot be fully played without safe, unfettered access for the OSCE SMM. This is why the OSCE SMM's mandate provides for its safe and unfettered access. This is why the package of measures of 12 February 2015 stipulates effective monitoring and verification by the OSCE using all technical equipment necessary. This is why the addendum to the package of measures stipulates that the signatories shall ensure secure and safe access for the OSCE SMM monitors. This is also why I'm here in this particular location today. In areas not controlled by the government in southern Donetsk region, there are recurring risks imposed by members of the armed formations. In this very area, here, the armed formations, at many occasions, have restricted access to our patrols. At the two checkpoints, here, also in Novosovsk, we have been denied around 40 times since 26th of June. Further east, close to the section of the Ukraine-Russian Federation border not controlled by the government, the situation has been even worse. In the small town of Siedove, where my colleagues and I were yet again denied access today, SMM patrols have been denied access since February last year. Similar restrictions prevail close to the section of the Ukraine-Russian Federation border not controlled by the government in Luhansk region. Since mid-February this year, when the armed formations started regularly restricting the SMM's access to these areas, the mission has encountered restrictions over 126 times. Dear friends, we have been stating the case for SMM freedom of movement for a long time. But it seems certain people are not listening. It's a curious contradiction. These same people tell us they want peace. They tell us they are ready to withdraw, disengage, and demand, but they don't trust the other side to do the same. They tell us that they need verification of the other side's compliance, and yet they undermine the SMM's ability to provide that verification by denying us access, a basic requirement if we are to verify the side's compliance with the Minsk agreements. They order their subordinates in areas like this one here in Novosovsk consistently to stop us at the point of a gun. Sometimes they even fire in the direction of our unarmed civilian officers. Often, on both sides of the contact line, they shoot or jam our unmanned aerial vehicles. While flying over Pikusi on 26 July, one of our mid-range UAVs experienced a loss of signal assessed as due to jamming. The reason the UAV was jammed was obvious. Immediately beforehand, it spotted a T-72 tank in the village. It's invariably the same in other cases where the sites restrict our access. Wherever there is a restriction, there is another violation. The restriction in itself is a violation of both our mandate provided by the 57 participating states of the OSCE and the Minsk agreements. And every restriction is a fact in itself. The fact that there is something hidden from our view, there's always something, there's always hiding. They are always hiding something. Facts matter, no matter how uncomfortable they are, and they always offer excuses instead of compliance. Dear friends, People here in Novazovsk and elsewhere in Donetsk and Luhansk region are tired of excuses. They're sick and tired of the violence, of having their neighbors, friends, parents, even their children killed and injured. There are no more excuses. The sites, in particular the armed formations, need to start with ensuring safe and unfettered access for the OSCE SMM. The sites need to comply with the Minsk agreements, with the agreements they signed. They need to stop offering excuses to the people of Novazovsk and other villages and towns along the contact line. And instead, they have to offer them hope. Hope that one day peace will be restored. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hook. Now it's time for questions. Dear colleagues, if you have questions, you're welcome to ask them. It seems, oh, yes, we have one question in Ukrainian.
Ukrainian news. Please clarify information about casualties, as of now, civilian casualties. In particular, how many people died, how many people were injured, and does SMM know about the incident in Horlivka where armed formation fired at a group of teenagers, and there are reports of some teenagers being injured? Thank you.
The Special Monitoring Mission is aware of the incident that occurred allegedly in Horlivka, and our patrols at the moment continue following up on that specific incident. Between 1st of January and the end of July, the Special Monitoring Mission corroborated a total of 161 civilian casualties, composed of 29 killed and 132 injured.
Thank you. There is one more question.
Уточнення, а скільки...
Clarification, how many people died as of the recent data?
Of January and the 30th of July, the SMM corroborated 161 civilian casualties. This is a total combined of 29 killed and 132 injured.
Thank you, Mr. Hook. It was the last question for today, so let's finish and thank you once again.